What is up, everybody? Welcome back for a very happy holiday edition of the Beyond Us podcast. I'm joined once again by Brett.
Season's greetings.
And Salo.
Happy holidays. And Daniel.
And yeah, I'm Daniel. I'm not joined by Daniel. I am Daniel, for the record.
He became.
So
introducing
in this corner,
weighing in at a whopping way too fucking much. So if we're just gonna keep it completely honest, we already recorded for about half an hour and then had a system crash, so we're starting over.
Way to break the immersion, homie.
It's for the best. We're honest here.
Honesty is the best policy.
But the good news is that means you guys don't have to listen to us ramble about the VA for 25 odd minutes.
I learned a lot.
Salo
It'd be
learned a lot.
hilarious if we proceeded to talk about the VA for 25 minutes again.
So, about the VA, guys, I have a couple more questions. Made a comprehensive list.
But anyway, so let's just do a real quick rundown on what's been going on with everybody since last time. Brett, what's been going on with you?
Well, I guess I should actually say what's been going on with me. So I've been dealing with some medical issues, personally. The doctors don't know what it is.
He's got crabs.
Honestly, I wish. That would be so much more convenient.
He's got full body crabs.
Yeah, so like it sounds so bad. I have these attacks, I've been calling them.
It's when the crabs pinch him.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, throughout my whole body, I get a burning, itching sensation with no like rash or anything like that. And that's kind of the reason why they don't know what it is, because there's no real evidence of it.
Right?
Yeah. So that's what I've been dealing with. No, it's like,
if it's a food, we gotta know, because you've been having this problem for a while.
Yeah, it's not a new issue.
It's water.
What's new is, oh, dude, if I'm allergic to water, I'd be so pissed.
Oh my god!
Imagine.
What's new is the intensity has increased. It's gotten bad. Doctors are getting concerned. Yeah, that's what's been going on with me.
Okay. Salo, what's been going on with you?
Yeah. What's up with you, Salo?
That's crazy, first off, and I hope you eventually find out your mysterious diagnosis I didn't know about. I hope you get an exterminator
for your full body crabs.
Dude, like, what the fuck? And then second off, we talked about this in the first recording. I was transitioning away from my job, and I was offered an $8 pay increase and a different role, which is going to be way less work.
Hourly, not salary.
Hourly, yeah. So
it is important.
Still including commission.
As we discussed last time, you guys won't hear that discussion, but it is quite important, the difference between an $8 increase hourly versus salary. Makes a difference.
And I had already accepted a role at a different place, but I was just telling you guys about how I have that feeling of, like having to call somebody and be like, hey, even though I said I was going to proceed, I got a better offer. But you guys gave me a good point about giving them the opportunity to match that pay, and then that way at least they had that chance. So that's been my whole month, just dealing with all of this. So I'm excited for the holidays.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As for me, I've been dealing with the VA, which is how we ended up in that conversation. But the long and short of it is just evaluations with the VA and just inconsistencies and ups and downs and trials and tribulations, as to be expected with the VA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
it just seems like most individuals that work with the VA in terms of receiving their services, it's not great. Just like,
no, right.
That's pretty much like the general consensus. Yeah, it's not consistent.
Um,
You definitely have those sparks of people that like do what they're supposed to do,
And it's
they
awesome.
care and they help you.
It's so
But
exciting.
more often than not, that's not what you're getting.
But one thing that we did talk about during our 30-minute rant that should be rediscussed was the, in my opinion, really good idea that, you know, we kind of worked on together in the sense of at the end of military service, the last 6 months to year of your time as a contracted member of the military should be spent working at the VA, so that the VA has people there that are motivated to make the system better for when they are the patient.
Yep, you'll be there to transition your medical services to the VA.
Right.
And then you can take care of all your out processing and everything. Honestly, probably in a location that
Is
of
more
your
conducive.
choice. Yeah.
A lot of it'll just be more convenient.
Very much could be. Yeah.
I think that would be really useful. I also think that there should be people. I didn't bring this up last time, but something that I just thought about. I think there should be people that you can go talk to a year after getting out of the military to get that out processing information again, because it is a lot in a very short span of time, and it is so difficult to retain it all.
And you're so focused on
just getting out.
everything else.
You just want to go home.
You're focused on getting out.
Just like, please, leave me be.
And it's so much information to retain, and then you look at the paperwork that you filled out, and you're like, I don't know what any of this fucking means.
For anyone not aware of what this is, there is a process when you out process from the military, you go through kind of like a class of sorts. Multiple classes.
Teaching you how to be a civilian again.
Yeah, they give you some fundamentals, resume building, applications.
Teach you how to use your GI Bill.
Yeah, different finance classes. So they provide a lot of
super
good
useful
and
information.
useful services.
They do it in too small of a time period for it to be conducive for you to actually retain it all.
Like, you're not going to be able to take everything that they're telling you.
It's just, they tell you 2 weeks worth of things to learn in 2 hours. Like, you could easily go to class for 4 hours a day to learn this stuff for multiple weeks, and they do it all in a day. And it's just like, there's just no way your brain, especially with everything else you're doing, trying to get all of your paperwork to get out, getting your housing situation, getting what you're going to do when you go home situated, and it's just, and don't even get me started on TMO.
Your offices might still have you
working. Yeah, you might still be working
while you're trying to take care of all this.
And
so you have to retain all your normal daily responsibilities of whatever your job is, which can be a lot.
It can be, yeah.
Especially if you're at the point of getting out the military.
Right.
You've been in
a while.
At that point. Yeah.
So, basically, my point is, we should do better about transitioning to civilian life for military members and taking care of them in that transition.
Do you think there should be more VA locations as well? Because like we were talking about, like you driving a whole freaking hour.
Yes and no. So, I think that there should be. All right.
I think more VA approved locations.
I think there should be less VAs and more VA approved outpatient offices. I think there should be more places in house that you're approved to go to locally, so that you should never have to drive more than 20 minutes to get somewhere approved for certain things, obviously. But I think there should be less VAs in general. The fact that Maryland has 3 VAs is not necessary. There are not that many veterans in Maryland.
Not to mention, there's a thing of like consolidating their resources.
Exactly. We could be focusing...
Because there ends up being an issue where like, okay, so you go to this VA, but this VA doesn't have this type of equipment.
So now I got to go to that
different VA. Yeah. But your doctor's still at this VA, so you have to go
I got to come back to this one.
And you have to bounce back.
I've done that.
Yeah,
I've gone to the Martinsburg, West Virginia VA, and then them not had the equipment they needed to do certain scans, so I had to go to the Baltimore VA. And then my next appointment was back at Martinsburg, and then my next appointment was in Frederick. I've dealt with that because certain places just don't have resources.
That's a lot of driving, man.
It's annoying. So, it's not all in one day.
So civilians actually kind of deal with something similar. They just probably don't realize it since it's on such a smaller scale.
Right.
So you go to the hospital and it's like, okay, well, you need to use this certain equipment. We don't have this here. So we're going to send you to this clinic or this specialty clinic 10 minutes down the road.
Right.
You're dealing with the same thing because this hospital doesn't have every single resource that's needed, but everything is condensed in the same area.
The difference is they have places in-house nearby that have what they need. The VA, the next closest place, is an hour and 20 minutes away.
Obviously, there's outliers. Sometimes you might need something very special. And it's like, well, you need to go to a hospital in a different state for like 3 weeks.
You go out of state, yeah. But
God bless America.
My opinion is less VAs to consolidate on resources, more VA-approved locations. That's how I would do it, personally. Because I'll also tell you this. I've never been in the VA and been like, damn, there's 30 people in the waiting room. Never. I've never been further than 5th in line.
Really?
Never.
That's surprising.
At the pharmacy, I'm 5th in line.
That's not that bad.
It's awesome. But it's because there's so many different VAs to go to.
Almost too many, huh?
Right. So, but anyway, before we actually manage to make it back to 25 minutes about the VA.
I was letting it happen.
I was like,
I just wanted to let it happen.
So the only other topic that we talked about in our previous recording that we can kind of brush through, the entire situation with Brittney Griner and the trade for her release. We are all in agreement. We are happy to have her home. She deserves to be home. The bullshit she dealt with was ridiculous. She was held on some bogus fucking charges that were bumped up heavily to make a point. And it was shit that she dealt with. But the trade we made was not logical. In the sense of we traded for a celebrity and we gave away a known arms dealer who has supplied threats to America.
Yeah, and I think we all agree actually on the weight of bringing that one person because of media coverage and
right.
There's a lot of Americans still there. There's at least 3 more, I think.
Yeah, as much as a large portion of the populace is very upset that we, gave up like this
a problem.
Yeah, a problem of a trade. It is the public that influenced this as much as we don't want to.
America was backed into a corner.
That. Yep.
Because America was basically calling for the head of anybody that wasn't getting her home.
Yep.
There's a lot of media coverage on that story, too.
Which gave Russia a lot of leverage. And that leverage was applied.
Yep.
Clearly.
And it is what it is. And hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. But we are happy for her, and we are happy to have her.
Something I kind of hope for. Here's something I hope for. I hope there was something in the background, something maybe the people don't know about, because a lot of times in deals that there is,
right.
Like they don't tell everything. But there's something in the background that leads to some good to come out of this.
Maybe.
Something more favorable for us.
Would be nice.
But obviously we don't know. We don't know the inner workings. I mean, but we put a lot of stress on the government for this one.
Yep.
Realistically, that's what happened. But glad she's home. Glad she's safe.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, everyone else can somehow come back home as well.
Yep. And I mean, obviously, wishing for world peace is a pipe dream. It's foolish, but at least we can continue to hope that the world just gets a little bit better each day.
That's all we can do.
It's not, unrealistic, I suppose. But the good news is, to everybody listening, we just got about 40 minutes worth of recording the first time, done 15. In about 15. So now we have even more time to talk about other things, like the fact that I found out, and I'm sure you guys will remember this, but you never would have realized it until now. The first 4 Spider-Man video games that were released, you could not get to street level.
Oh, no, I remember.
The place where all the crime takes place?
Yeah, no, it was bullshit.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, you can't get down
there. You can't go down to the street. It's rooftops only.
You can only swing through the vines or swing through the freaking cityscape.
For the first 4 Spider-Man video games, if you went to ground level, you just died and reset.
You fell.
How much rooftop crime is happening?
There was a lot.
Only.
I mean, there was a whole video, like 4 whole video games worth of rooftop crime. Like it was
insane.
And so they would do the mechanic where like you go to a rooftop and then go inside the building, right?
Some of them,
and some of them, yeah.
But like,
that's pretty funny.
My favorite is the games where you were just swinging. You weren't actually connecting those webs to anything.
No, they were just going to the sky.
You were just good to go the whole time. But all that being said, credit to the most recent Spider-Man game and the PS4 Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Their like physics of how the web swinging works and how it can attach to things and how it can lead to momentum and all that, unbelievable what they were able to do.
Because they like, you could tell that they wanted to keep the idea of like, hey, you could keep going wherever you are. You just had to be smart about it.
Yep.
You can't just web straight up. You have web forward and pull yourself to an object and keep propelling yourself in different directions.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
It wasn't just
it was amazing.
Straight up in the air.
But I mean, once upon a time,
it was
to infinity and beyond.
Buzz Lightyear.
I remember there being I mean, they were memes. No one called them memes at that point, but
picture images.
There were memes of there were memes of like planes just being like following Spider-Man as he web slung to them.
Yeah. So great. But it's kind of crazy to think about. Like when you go back and you're like, the first 4 games of Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood couldn't hang out in the neighborhood.
He was banned. He instantly dies.
That was your friendly rooftop Spider-Man. Speaking of superheroes, I don't know if y'all heard, but it's official. Henry Cavill is no longer Superman.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
He retired?
No, James Gunn, the director, decided to go a different direction and wants to do a younger Superman. So Henry Cavill is officially no longer cast as Superman.
That's crazy. He's been Superman for a long time, right?
So
Man of Steel came out in what, 13?
I was thinking about something when I found out about this. He's not returning as Superman.
Or Geralt.
And he's not returning as Geralt. He's not returning as The Witcher. Is there something up with Henry Cavill himself?
No. So, he chose to not be The Witcher anymore because he didn't like that the screenwriters were going away from the source material.
Away from the video game?
The books.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There are 7 Witcher books.
Did not know that.
I have them somewhere. But he didn't like that they were straying severely far away from the source material. So he decided to not re-up his contract after season 3. He was excited to return to Superman, and he's upset that he's not.
Right.
So I don't think it's anything to do with Henry Cavill as much as... Here's the thing. I'm going to be real. If we're being honest, Henry Cavill wasn't that good as Superman. I'm going to say
he was a bit dry?
I'm going to say it. He wasn't that great. He was kind of boring as Superman. And Man of Steel was a bad movie where he murdered thousands upon thousands of people because he was reckless.
Okay, so I think you and me have had this conversation before. And it's a point that I disagree. And the reason I say that, not to say what happened in the Superman movies was kind of ridiculous, because it was. He did kill a shit ton of people. It wasn't Henry Cavill. That was the way they wrote Superman.
Sure, but writing affects whether or not you're good at a character.
In terms of him being Superman, I thought he played Superman very well.
I don't.
The whole... Because like, to what Salo said, I thought he was kind of boring, and the reason I thought that was because Superman's kind of boring. Superman as a character is a boring character who does non-boring shit.
The problem is he didn't do non-boring shit either.
That's not on Henry Cavill.
I understand that. I'm not saying that Henry Cavill is at fault for being a bad Superman. I'm saying he was a bad Superman. I'm not saying it's his fault that his scripts were poorly written.
He just was a bad guy. It doesn't matter.
He was a shitty Superman mostly because his movies were crap. His scripts were garbage. His Superman was written poorly, and he's dumb as shit. He's the dumbest superhero to ever walk the face of Krypton. He's fucking useless. He's killed more people than he saved.
Yeah.
He's a garbage hero. Batman had every right to want to kill him. And then when... Martha... That, fucking stupid. Dumb.
That was the name of my mother!
Fucking dumb.
Martha!
But, now I will say this. Henry Cavill as Superman was much better in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, because for once, he got to be fucking interesting.
Yeah. No, like... And I think that's where a lot of people are seeing it now. It's like, what we saw in Snyder's cut, that's, like the casting seemed really good for the most part.
Sure.
The acting was spectacular.
Sure.
The writing was great, and it was because everything was put together the way it was supposed to. Every other movie, everything's been cut down.
Right.
Everything's been rewritten and
for
altered in
sure.
some way that has just dropped and just pushed down this DC universe.
And that's why that's why I just said, I don't think it's Henry Cavill's fault, but Henry Cavill was a bad Superman. That is mostly the fault of his scripts. But it's also, it's just the fact that he wasn't interesting in any way, shape, or form. Even his fight scenes were mostly boring.
Superman's never hit the spot for me, so I agree with you completely.
I mean, I think Superman is a overhyped character. He's broken. And it's hard to make a movie interesting about a character that's broken. It's hard to make a movie where the strongest character at all times is the good guy. There's no trial and tribulation to go through. That's why Batman movies are always going to be successful, because he's human. You can make a Flash movie because the Flash is young, stupid, and klutzy. Wonder Woman, the first movie, was awesome because it felt super out of place, and it was like, holy shit, this badass woman in World War II popping the fuck off. And then the second Wonder Woman movie was fucking trash. Trash and a half.
I didn't watch it. Was it really?
I also didn't watch it.
You lucky, both of you. I'm jealous.
I just heard how bad it was.
I heard how bad it was actually too.
It was bad enough she's not getting another one. The problem is Zack Snyder set the bar too high for DC. That's the problem. Zack Snyder set the bar too high. But I don't really care that Henry Cavill's not going to be Superman anymore.
No one else is living up to it.
Right, that's the problem. He set the bar that high, and no one else is even coming close. And I will say, Aquaman was good. Aquaman was really good. Shazam, pretty good. Black Adam was okay.
Haven't seen
all
Black
right.
Adam yet. I want to. It's just...
It's okay. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It came out when I didn't have access to a theater, so...
It just doesn't... So the... You know what Black Adam suffers from? It suffers from the same thing Venom suffers from. It is a character that has always been a bad guy that for some reason just is a good guy. But doesn't actually have like
into the hero story.
Are they making like an anti-hero kind of, or are they making like a
hero?
He's just a hero.
He's just Shazam that kills.
They're just trying to put him into the hero arc that they tend to try to do to sell more movies.
Like Black Adam is genuinely just Shazam that kills people. Like that's it.
I have to agree with Salo. Because if that's the way it is, right? If that's the way it is. There is an arc in a lot of things where the bad guy starts doing good things whether out of necessity or the main character changed their mind. The problem DC is doing, or in the same thing that happened with Venom,
they didn't
is they're
start
just
as a bad
jumping
guy
to that point. Yeah. They're just jumping to the
redemption
point
arcs are great when you have something to redeem.
But you can't skip it. Yeah, this is a bad
right now.
guy.
This isn't a redemption arc. This is an origin story. like Venom. Why does Venom look the way he does in the Venom movies? He never took this form of Spider-Man. He shouldn't look anything like Venom.
I see what you mean. Like in his storyline, he didn't do the whole.
Didn't they do something where like he saw Spider-Man on TV?
That was after the movie.
Like that was after. Okay. Yeah, there was no reason for him to look the way he did.
No. And look, spoiler alert if you haven't seen any of these movies at this point. But in my opinion, if a movie's been available to see out of theaters for more than 6 months, it's on you.
That's fair.
So
I've even seen it, so I mean that's very fair.
So spoiler alert for anybody that didn't know, but Tom Hardy's Venom shows up in an MCU movie because of everything that happened in No Way Home. But at the end of the movie, he just gets teleported back home. He never actually had an interaction with Spider-Man. But for some reason, part of Venom stayed.
Right. Like, that's the ramification they leave at the very end.
But why would part of him stay? All of him should have to leave.
Yeah, like, it doesn't be... So, the only time it would become a different thing is if he left a spawn. Because Venom and all the symbiotes can spawn another version of himself. He had no reason to do that. There was nothing that prompted him to detach a part of himself and create a new symbiote.
And for anybody that hasn't seen the atrocity that is Morbius...
yeah. Don't do it.
Why did Vulture end up in the same universe as Morbius? Like, why? It doesn't make sense. They're just doing shit to do it.
Morbius, which universe does that take place in? Does that take place in The Amazing Spider-Man or...
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Because it takes place... Maybe? I don't know. Venom takes place in the Amazing Spider-Man universe.
Yes.
I believe Morbius takes place in the same universe as Venom. I believe, because it should be the Sonyverse.
It should be?
So I believe so.
I don't know if that was like...
Plus, he also makes a reference to Venom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if he does that, then
like, he scares that guy with his face change, and he's like, I'm Venom. Like, because that's what we're doing. Because Morbius is just a fucking joke. Also, always a bad guy into a good guy. But then, in that movie, for some reason, Vulture from Spider-Man: Homecoming, Michael Keaton, just gets teleported into that universe for some reason. Why? It doesn't make sense. Like, the Marvel just does shit to do it.
To hype it up.
So
get more views.
So you guys know in those they're like crime movies, right? Where you follow like the thief or the merc or something. Where like it's a bad guy, right? This is a bad guy.
Uh-huh.
You root for him because he's the main character.
Sure.
Right? You see his trials and tribulations. You get to know that character intimately, so to speak. And you're pulling for that character to come out
the winner
favorably in the end.
Sure.
Yeah, the winner. It doesn't matter if everything they're doing is bad. It doesn't matter if like
it just matters if I can get behind them.
Yeah, if you can get behind them. They should definitely be doing that with these characters.
Agreed.
Imagine if they did that with Morbius. Where like you follow a fucking villain the whole time. Like, I mean, you get to know him as a regular guy and you like start to meld with his personality and his issues, and then this thing happens, he becomes evil, but you're still pulling for him to come out favorably on the other side,
right? And then the road, that's how you set up a redemption
moves. Well, you
not
set
just
up a
skip to
redemption
the
arc,
end,
but you set up these clashes,
right?
Like if you set up these clashes with these villains that now people fucking love, and a hero someone really really likes. Well, now you actually have these two forces pitted together where you have a much better version of the Superman versus Batman setup where people are actually picking sides.
Here's the problem. If you do that and one of them is a villain and one of them is the hero, someone has to win. If they're both heroes, they can stop fighting halfway through the movie because of a mother's name.
Martha!
But if there's a villain and a hero, someone has to win. And it has to be the hero.
And it can't be nobody whose mama's name is Martha, okay?
It's okay for like things to happen the way they're supposed to happen. The problem is like when you try to appease every single person, you end up appeasing nobody.
Agreed. No, I absolutely agree. The problem is, so if we build these movies with the intent to eventually have the clash, you have nowhere to go after that, is the problem. But if you build the movies as the villain and just let them fucking do their own thing, and then when you're done with the character, let them lose and finish their story arc, that's fine.
That'd be creative. Actually following a bad guy do bad guy things with no redemption arc, and then at the end he just suffers the ramification of everything.
Or the redemption arc can happen and then they like move into the hero side of the story.
Sure.
Like there's several things you can do, but you have like there needs to be a foundation of this is who that character is. This guy, if this guy is a guy that kills, this guy is a bad guy, let him be a fucking bad guy.
I mean, this is something we talked about too, though, is you have to do the character right. This is a conversation you and I had, Brett. Joker. With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
That movie, as a Joker movie, doesn't make fucking sense. But if you took the name Joker off of it and it was just a movie about a guy that lost his shit, it'd be one of the greatest movies ever.
It's exactly what we're talking about at that point. You are following a villain from the beginning.
Right.
And he's just a villain.
Right.
And everyone's able to get behind him in terms of like motivations and like stuff like that. Yeah. Like it works.
Joker just suffers from the fact that you've linked it to a character that has a iconic backstory.
A legacy.
This character has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And there's just parts of that movie that are really weird, like sticking your fucking fingers in a 7-year-old's mouth. Like, it's just weird.
Super weird, dude.
But anyway, I don't know. We got here based off the fact that Henry Cavill is no longer Superman. Do I care? No. Here's what I'm hoping for. Here's what I'm hoping for. Whatever the next Superman we get is, it's in the same universe as Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Please. And
we get young Superman, young Batman, early days Justice League done right.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be ideal.
You want him to have another jab at the Justice League then?
I don't mind another jab at the Justice League. Just do it right. Get actual Justice Leaguers. Get a relatively acceptable Justice League villain. Don't just skip straight to the fucking Darkseid saga.
Yeah, don't skip to the final boss. Let's work up to it.
Like, we literally skipped to the son of the final boss and prepped for the final boss to be next. Doesn't make sense. We're, like, these guys don't even know each other. Start low level.
So
let's go with Amazo.
So when it comes... Yeah.
Amazo's the perfect villain.
So, with Superman, I think something that would help in terms of people enjoying Superman more, in terms of making his character work, create this young Superman, this early Superman, and provide a scenario where he accidentally uses his full power.
And then he instantly feels
never
guilty.
uses it again.
That was my biggest problem with Henry Cavill, is he destroyed and leveled 70% of Metropolis with no fucking guilt.
No moral conflict.
Because the only thing that makes Superman fair in any fight
is that he holds back.
Makes him is the fact that he's always holding back.
Always.
The moment he doesn't,
he kills people.
He kills everything. There's not a single entity that can stop him if he uses his full power. Well, for the most part.
Doomsday. Doomsday put him in his fucking place.
Even then, he was holding back for a lot of things.
How was Doomsday even able to touch him?
Doomsday's...
isn't he crafted from a Kryptonian?
Some versions.
No.
What?
Yeah, some versions.
Some versions he's part
basis...
Kryptonian. Some versions he's genetically created to be a Kryptonian slayer.
Yeah. He's ultimately the reason that he gives anyone a run for his money is because once you hit him with something, his body adapts to it and then is no longer affected by it.
So, Doomsday's one rule is he can't die by the same thing more than once.
Yeah.
He dies, he comes back. And he can no longer die to that.
That sounds like a good villain. Holy crap.
You kill him with brute force, you can never kill him with brute force again. You kill him with
if he's impaled,
giant impaled to the head, he'll never be impaled again. He'll just fucking take it and be like, haha, fuck you.
So like Deadpool level of come back.
He's a giant monster version of Deadpool. Yes.
Terrifying.
That doesn't break the fourth wall.
That doesn't break the fourth wall, just breaks backs and legs and faces.
Spooky.
And buildings. Doomsday. Doomsday would be a great villain for the first Justice League fight. Because they could all get their shit kicked in. Hell, you want to do a real good Justice League movie? That's what you do. You do the Batman versus Superman arc again, but you do it with the whole Justice League. The entire league is getting washed by Doomsday, and Superman dies at the end, taking out Doomsday. And then have 3 or 4 movies without Superman. Don't have him come back 2 days later.
At least 3 for the metaphors. The symbolism.
It's just... I don't know. The other problem is in these movies, he actually died. Mm-hmm. In the comics, he didn't. Yeah. He just got heavily wounded and then hibernated.
Like a freaking bear. Did he do it at the ice cave thing? This little secret holdout?
Yeah.
It's funny.
And then that's when he came back with the black suit and the mullet.
Oh no, are you serious?
Yeah.
Is this canon?
Yes.
You're fucking with me. Hey, a mullet.
The black suit and the mullet was legit.
Look this up.
The greatest mullet I've ever seen. If Henry Cavill had come back in the Zack Snyder movie with a mullet, I would have been done.
That's hilarious. He's wearing a mullet.
But
Yeah.
I would definitely. The other problem is now we have multiple Superman films being produced, and I don't know how I feel about that either. Oh, did you forget that we're getting a Black Superman movie?
What?
Oh, fuck. I did forget about that.
Yeah.
I absolutely forgot about that. Fuck.
It's just bad timing.
I want a Miles Morales live action.
I think we'll get there.
I hope so.
I think we'll get there.
I'm still just so disappointed. Like, don't make a black Superman.
Don't do it.
Make a black hero with the power of Superman.
You mean Black
Like,
Adam?
if you're gonna do that, yeah, exactly. Black Adam.
Even though he's not black.
He's just an atom.
His name is Adam, yes. It's Teth Adam.
What a freaking name.
Well, he is from 5000 BC.
I mean, they could just get a black Kryptonian.
You could, yeah. You could just do that.
Sent to a
They
different,
have,
like...
They have other races on Krypton. They're not all white guys.
You could do the black Superman that's not Kal-El.
Yeah.
It's Kal-Zor. He's from an alternate universe, and it is a black Superman.
Kal-Zor?
Yes.
They make a comic book about this guy?
Yeah, just Google Black Superman. You'll probably get a couple pictures of Idris Elba from Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, because he even said that he was kind of
He said, I'm Black Superman.
Which, if there had to be a black Superman...
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. But could you imagine?
If you had an older Black Superman,
Yeah.
Idris Elba. I'm down for that. But, speaking of older characters that, we're getting in live action, we're finally getting a live action God of War.
Yeah. It was Amazon?
Amazon Prime ordered a series for God of War and for Fallout.
Really?
I'm more excited for the God of War than the Fallout. It's got to be Triple H, right?
He's getting a lot more traction.
I've been saying it for a long time.
Yeah. I will say, like, if Peacock would have ordered it...
It definitely would have been Triple H.
Definitely would have been Triple H.
Look, him and Jason Momoa were the only two that even looked right in that picture that you sent me and Gwen.
Yeah.
Batista's head just looked weird. Tom Hardy did not look right.
Batista didn't look right.
And Christopher
Tom
Judge
Hardy
didn't look right either.
Tom Hardy looked odd, but I could definitely see him pulling it off. He's like the guy that just pulls shit off,
Except
even if
for
he has
Bane.
no right. I mean, his version of Bane, he pulled off really, really well.
Yeah, it's just not Bane.
It's not. No, it's not Bane, but that's not how they wrote Bane.
Yeah, that was...
They wrote him like that,
rough.
and he played that exceptionally. Yeah.
But we are getting a God of War, and it
dude,
follows the Norse mythology. It's starting in the Norse mythology.
Do you think it's going to go to Greek and everything else?
No.
No, it would just it'd just be a telling of the video game, I imagine.
I mean, that's probably what it's going to be anyway.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't make sense to do the Greek ones because he doesn't have any friends. You don't have any side characters. You have main character and characters that are about to get killed. In the Norse one, he has allies. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes
so
sense.
you have like other people that you can cast, conversations. If you did the original God of War,
You'd have
it
15
would just
lines
be
of dialogue every episode.
Yeah,
If that.
It's just him running around killing
Beating
everything.
the dog shit. Now look, you give me a movie of that, I'm down. I'll take a live action God of War Greek story, all 3 games in one movie. I'll take that. Give me a 2.5 hour movie of Kratos just beating the brakes off all the Greek gods. I'm down. I'm down. But if you do the Greek Kratos, it's got to be Michael J. White.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah. He fits. He just fits.
I mean, it's just the only choice.
Anybody bring any other topics to the table?
I got a few others. So
Salo?
You guys are excited to see Avatar? What do you guys think?
I don't give a shit about Avatar.
Fuck you. I'm not. I wanted to come out on DVD or whatever allows for me to look it up online legally. Wink, wink. But so it sounds like a long movie, but I'm excited. I didn't know if you guys were fans. I know Daniel probably is not.
First one was overrated.
Interesting.
It's not a bad movie.
So-
It's not great.
The first one...
It's Pocahontas.
And this... The first one
Okay.
I thought was great in terms of
It is.
innovation,
I guess you're right.
you know, like graphic video design, stuff like
I
that.
just broke Salo.
You just broke his mind.
It is, dude, it's Pocahontas.
It's Pocahontas.
Yo.
An
crazy.
outsider gets in with the local tribe and then falls in love with the character and decides to betray his own kind and side with the tribe and stop the invasion of their land. It's Pocahontas.
It's Pocahontas. You're right. That's crazy. Holy shit.
It's just Pocahontas on a different planet. What? That fucked Salo up for a second. He was
That
like,
did.
wait,
He
wait,
saw my
what?
whole entire brain process. I'm like,
Yeah, we watched all 3 gears turn.
all 3. I usually only use a half of it.
Yeah, I think my problem with the second Avatar so far, obviously, I mean,
I ain't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but from what I saw from like the advertisement, the trailer, I didn't see any innovation. That was the big thing it did. It innovated the cinematic world, like by leaps and bounds. But that was the thing with it. I didn't care about anything else in the movie.
No, I could have just watched
to
Pocahontas.
have a second one, I don't find the story interesting enough if they don't elevate the game somehow.
Here's the problem. They waited 13 years to put out a sequel to a movie that didn't need a sequel.
Has been a while, right?
I
Since
mean,
the
there
first.
was hype. There was definitely hype for a sequel,
Yeah,
but
for the first
it
5
wasn't
years.
necessary.
5
Yeah,
years ago.
and if they would have done it at that time, it probably maybe would have been relevant. But now
I'm sure
I
it'll
don't
do
give a
great
shit.
because people are obsessed with
yeah,
Avatar
people-
and they think
yeah.
it's the greatest movie of all time because they're just wrong.
I wish they put this much attention into the good Avatar story. The Last Airbender.
The
If they put
animated
them
story?
As much, if they put as much attention into that as they have into Avatar and Avatar 2, like
Imagine.
that much money and production.
live
one of the
action?
greatest movies
Are you
that
talking
ever
live
existed.
action or
Yeah.
animation?
Yeah, live action.
Dude, man, I'd love to see a live action, really well done. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
They did a live action. I don't know if you saw it.
It's garbage. I don't even want to acknowledge its existence. It's so garbage.
Hey, you leave them alone. Ong tried his best.
Ong was the wrong everything, and that's
Ong tried his best.
Ong Sasaka. Though
Ong-
everything.
Ong was
man.
the
Oh my
last
gosh.
airbender, and he tried his best. Yip yip.
That's when I paused it and exited out of Netflix.
Bro, when I heard her say Ong, I was like, Bitch, it's Aang.
You should know this.
It's one of those things that the Dragon Ball movie, it's like they made this movie but never watched the source material.
So they don't
like
know.
They were told about the idea. They're like, hey, oh yeah, it's this really cool show. Like this happens and this happens. And then they're like, oh, all right. And they just start writing it down, right? But never actually went and watched it. And then they made a movie about what that guy wrote down.
Yep.
It's like they read the first novel, but not the entire trilogy.
Pretty much.
Upsetting.
But no, I'm
upset.
Will I go see the new Avatar? Probably.
I'll probably see it at some point.
Do I care? No.
Yes.
Okay, it's 9 years too late.
9 years
honestly,
ago, man.
The
first one came out 13 years ago.
That's so crazy.
Which is why what they did with it was so amazing.
Right, because it came out way ahead of its time. Now it looks like a movie that should have come out 6 years ago. They're just not changing the game like they did with the first one.
Yeah.
Really pretty Pocahontas movie only carries so far.
Really pretty Pocahontas movie.
Yeah, 5 years, 5 years after they set this bar, people started reaching the bar. And since then they just... I mean, have you seen Disney shit?
Fuck, look at Marvel. Like, their plots are trash, but their movies look good.
All glossy and shit.
I mean, fuck. The Mandalorian was a TV show and had the production value of a blockbuster movie.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
Yeah, we're just at a different point. Not to say this can't be a good movie. No. For the record, it could very well be a good film. I don't know what they've done with it. I don't know the story. I haven't paid that much attention to it because I just don't care.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's the problem from my end. I know people that are very excited.
Me too.
Yeah. So I found out something recently, and this is completely unrelated. But you guys remember Payless shoes, right?
Payless, yeah.
I mean, they still exist, but yeah. So a lot of people, myself included, they kind of look at Payless shoes as kind of like subpar, right? They're just kind of there. They're meant to be cheap,
right?
Not well made shoes. I remember a little like something someone did. Daniel, are you falling asleep live?
No, I'm just listening
right now. Oh, okay.
He was falling asleep live in video.
Yeah,
it looks like it looks like you're passing out.
No, I'm just listening. And twiddling my fingers.
This happened back in like 2018. I did not know about this. But Payless decided that they were going to prank a bunch of people to kind of prove a point. And what they did was they remodeled one of their stores to look like a luxury store. And they only put up shoes from their Payless stores, and they changed what was like a $20 shoe to $200.
Like they used the same shoes?
Same shoes. Their shoes. They just redesigned the store, made it look fancy, changed their name from Payless to Palessi, and their grand opening was ridiculous. They had influencers, models, a shit ton of people show up and purchase these shoes like they were the hit new thing. You had like media people and shit like getting interviewed, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, I can't wait to walk around and people are gonna look at me and be like, hey, where'd you get that? What is this? Like, this is a Palessi. Like, they were like, people fell for this huge, and then they came out shortly after and they're like, yeah, no, this is Payless.
Nice.
Paylesses aren't.
So
real.
they
These
were
are all
able to
Payless
fool a
shoes.
shit ton of people.
Shit ton of people.
That's awesome.
There are people paying $600 for Payless shoes.
That's awesome.
Like they were like people were interviewing them like, oh, the quality of these shoes are remarkable, outstanding. Like people loved them, and it's just because it was in a high class platform.
That reminds me.
Ridiculous to think about.
That's so crazy that people just put value on things like that, like the Yeezys that came out and basically look like a I don't know if it's the Yeezys I'm referring to, but the weird little cardboard cutout looking thing that looks like a freaking like a croc. It's crazy how people put value to things, you know.
So from what I hear, those shoes are very comfortable,
like Crocs.
But yeah, Crocs are so. Oh my god, they're so fucking ugly.
They really are.
The thing is, like, at this point, you can now get the same shoe for much less because it's cheap, it's simple. That was hilarious.
I don't have wiggle room.
That's one. This man's just getting down with it. The wacky way, wacky inflatable too, man.
I'm just trying to stretch out a little bit because I don't got room in here.
For our audio listeners, Daniel is currently in a very festive onesie.
Yeah, but it's about festively 2 sizes too small. Here's the problem.
Man,
It's
just
long in the
wiggling his
legs and
arms up in
tiny
the
in the
air.
tummy.
The way he was doing his arm wiggle, dude looked like Flapjack.
Not Flapjack.
You're right. I was just saying it was a touchdown. That's all. It's a touchdown.
Oh, that's great.
No, that's just crazy.
Yeah, no, I had to look it up when I heard about it because
Yeah, that's bonkers. That sounds fake. That does sound fake.
It sounds fake, but it's definitely real. It happened in 2018. Baffled, I'm only just now finding out about this.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, it makes you think about like the shit people pay for.
I mean, I've never understood people paying hundreds of dollars for shoes. I've never understood. I'm not a shoe guy. It's about to
be the prestige of who sponsors the shoe or what the brand name conveys if you're an owner of the shoe. I think that's interesting, like you said. Like, how can you get people to value a shoe and hype it up like that? Especially when rappers endorsing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, rappers endorse shoes a lot now.
Yeah, but like Supreme. A Supreme backpack is a simple fucking backpack with the word Supreme on it. And you put that name on it, all of a sudden it goes up like $100.
Dude, they're selling a brick for that shit. Like,
that's the shit that bothers me. I could go to Tommy Hilfiger and get the same shirt that I could get at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And at Walmart, I'm going to get it for a fraction of the price. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not ashamed to say I get my clothes at Walmart. I don't give a shit. I'm poor.
Dude, some of that clothes is high. It's perfect. Like, I mean, what else do you need? You need blank shirts?
There was a point in time, and this might attribute it. There was a point in time when there was a difference in quality. Right?
Sure.
Like, you would go to Walmart and you could get a shirt that was similar, but the quality was definitely down. That's changed now. A lot of that has to do with patents and
I think that
source materials
the other
and shit
thing
like
is,
that. But like
back then, so 10 years ago, everybody wanted to wear a shirt that had crazy designs on it.
Graphic tees. Oh yeah,
graphic tees were huge 10 years ago.
Huge.
Now, if you've got a logo that's too big, sometimes it's just annoying. Like, I said sometimes. Your oversized bull is okay. But for the most part, I wear just plain t-shirts. Or I have small logos on the front, maybe a bigger logo on the back. Stuff like that, for the most part. Every once in a while, put a big logo on the front. But, like, let's talk about it. 15 years ago, there were T-shirts of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck being thugs. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah. I used to own a couple.
If somebody walked around with that shirt right now, they would get hard clowned.
Yo, Daffy Duck looking like this, like crossing their arms, looking sideways with some glasses and some bling.
I don't think they would.
You kidding me?
Are you crazy? If you went to high school right now wearing a shirt like that, you would get clowned.
Oh, in high school. If I walked around in public right now wearing a shirt like that, nobody would clown me.
Nobody cares in public right now.
I'd probably get compliments for
it. Maybe.
I'm sure I would.
You'd also get...
I'd be willing to put money on it, to be honest.
But I'd be willing to put money on the fact that you would get clowned, just not to your face.
That's fair.
The difference between high school and adult life is adult life, people like to clown people from a distance. That's facts.
People are afraid of
people like to laugh at people while they people watch as adults. In high school, people like to go up to you and laugh at your face. But if you showed up to high school 15 years ago with one of those shirts, that shit was fucking dope. If you showed up to high school now with one of those shirts, you're clowned. 100%. It's just a different world.
It reminds me of the story. I actually read something about that too.
Depending on who you are. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I learned that Shaq O'Neal, he actually, like a year ago, he had a big deal.
Hold on.
Shaquille O'Neal, fuck you.
I've never in my life heard somebody say Shaq O'Neal.
It's this poorly written article. Fuck you and the click you claim. So Shaquille O'Neal, for those of you that know. You can't
just call him Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal. I just like the O'Neal. Anyways, he actually walked away.
O'Neal. What?
He walked away from a $40 million deal with Reebok because he was walking in public one day and one of the moms of the kids who wanted the shoes pulled him aside and was like, "Why the fuck do you make the shoes so expensive? My son wants to buy your shoes, but they're so fucking stupid, ridiculous." So he thought about it, and he actually cut ties with Reebok, and it was like a $40 million deal. Dude signs up and brings over the Reebok designers from his original concept with Reebok. He brings the graphic designers in, makes a deal with Walmart, or not graphic designers, but the shoe designers, makes a deal with Walmart, figure out how to make a very inexpensive shoe, and then makes like a huge, like 120 million pairs sold of shoes from Walmart with these very inexpensive shoes, and he found a lot of success in it, just making it accessible, you know?
Well, to be fair, Shaq can take a risk like that because Shaq ain't hurting no money. To be fair, like most people ain't looking at it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just drop this $40 million deal.
That's fair.
Like Shaq living in a different bracket.
But it just goes to show like how.
No, yeah,
you know that he's one in a million. Everybody else would have been like, a Reebok, it's a high premium item. You're gonna pay this amount of money. I don't care about the accessibility. Sometimes you get people like that.
No, and that's good. I've never understood the people that, and look, I get it. Some people collect, some people collect swords, and some people collect patches, and some people collect action figures, and some people collect shoes. And I get it. But I've never understood the people that are just obsessed with shoes so much that they'll spend $800 on shoes and never wear them. I've never understood it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to spend $60 on a new pair of shoes because my shoes still fucking work.
I'm the same way, dude. I'll buy, even if it's like a Walmart, like right now I have Walmart business shoes. I'm going to use these motherfuckers for everything, and I'm going to use it to the sole, to the bare bottoms. Like it doesn't pull me to spend like $150 on stuff that I will eventually wear down, you know?
I have the same pair of tennis shoes that I was in basic training in.
Yeah.
That was in 2016.
So I
15.
understand I'm more of the idea like appearance does play a part into it. Like if I use a shoe and it gets to the point where it's not as aesthetically pleasing as it was supposed to be originally, sure, I might move on from that shoe and get something else. I'm not going to get a brand new shoe and then next week get the next one that came out. That's not me.
You're also, as far as I know, not going to spend several $100s on shoes that don't get worn.
No.
Because it just feels weird. Like, the idea of buying something... Look, Funko Pops. They're meant to be collectibles. That's their goal. The box says collect them all. Like, they're not action figures. Like, the people that don't take action figures out of the box because they know they're going to be worth something one day, kudos to you. Congratulations.
I mean, some people do the same thing with shoes in terms of, like, they keep them as, like, pristine, never worn, and then fast forward 20 years, you're selling this, you know, fucking, now it's a collector's item of a shoe.
And if that is your goal, kudos. Congratulations. I 100% know people that will go buy the newest pair of Jordans just so they can say they have them.
And not even wear them.
They'll take a picture of them on their feet once, and then they will go back in that box and go in the closet or under their bed to never be seen again.
Man.
Unless their boy comes over and they're like, yo, check it out. I got those new Jordans. And they ain't get one. And they put them away again. Like, it's just...
Shoes have always kind of been like this thing that people obsess over. I remember in middle school, I used to have so many almost fights with people because I accidentally stepped on their shoe. I'm like, bro, God, why would you buy a $200 shoe, all white, and go to a middle school and bring it around middle schoolers?
Yeah.
You think I'm not gonna step on your shoe? I don't even know what money is.
Solid. Why you stepping on motherfuckers' shoes? Wait a minute.
Motherfuckers be walking too slow. I got places to be.
Why can't you watch where you walk?
I run to the library. They better get out of my way.
You should not be running in the hallways.
Motherfuckers move too slow.
And we know you ain't going to the library. You don't read.
You don't read? I hide. That's where I eat. They let me eat there because nobody bullies me there.
That's because you keep stepping on people's shoes.
Let's stop having expensive shoes.
Stop stepping on their shoes and you'll have friends.
No, but Salo's right. The people that are like, don't step on my shoe, but then they wear expensive shoes to a crowded location.
All white shoes and we're all in line.
Like the people that freak out because someone stepped on their shoes in a club.
Don't go to a club. We dancing in here.
Dog.
We ain't watching for shoes.
I think there's a degree of it, though. Like, if you step on my shoes and there's clear way that you could have avoided that, why the fuck are you stepping on my shoes? Watch where you're going. Right,
but in a club, you should expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a club, like, your people are bumping into each other. You know, like, that shit's gonna happen.
But, like, I got clowned in school because I had cheap shoes. I had FUBUs.
Yeah, I fuck with FUBUs. You think
I had FUBUs when I was in school. My dad would get me FUBUs, and I got clowned so hard for having them. I'm like, motherfucker, they cheap. I don't give a shit.
I was a name brand boy.
I went to school wearing Walmart clothes. I'm not pressed.
I remember when DCs were like the shit. Yeah. It didn't matter who the fuck you were wearing DCs.
They were so big that fucking DC Young Fly got the goddamn logo tattooed on his forehead.
So
stupid ass.
Like I got into DCs initially because my stepbrother at the time, he wore them. And, you know, I wanted to fit in, right? But then I started wearing them because the fuckers were comfortable.
Right.
I have wider feet, and they wore a wider shoe. That shit was perfect.
That's why I fuck with Adidas.
So then...
Adidas fit nice.
Yeah.
We're talking about clothes a lot. What's happened to us?
So let's talk about these hats that you guys always have.
What?
Why Why are you upset? What's up with hats? Are you upset because you don't have one?
I don't.
Homie is blinding.
He said hats.
What you think I say?
What'd you? Yeah.
He said what you said. What's up with all these hats you guys always have? I heard what's up with these hostages you guys always have.
Oh
Like,
no! He went straight Call of
what
Duty.
hostage? I don't got a hostage.
What? Me? No.
And then Brett was just like, "What you mean? You ain't got one?" And I'm like, "What?"
What? Your closet just empty?
I was so
you just
confused.
keep empty
Who
closets
doesn't
in your
have one?
house?
I was so confused. I was like, "We're not supposed to talk about this on the podcast. This is for after hours."
We don't talk about
Like,
that
quick.
right now.
Edit that shit out. Edit that shit
I'm
out.
not
Cut it
wearing
off.
a hat right now.
Re-record. Oh no. Anyways, besides your little hostage situation, how
I'm not wearing a hat.
Yeah, he's not wearing a hat. I have a beanie on. And you're blinding God.
Oh, yo, when God said let there be light, he didn't intend on looking at you.
man? Even my mama was like, "Damn, bro, I'm gonna make you some hair treatment next year so you can grow
Motherfucker said
some
let
hair
there
on
be
your
light,
head."
and then went, ah, shit, Salo.
I'm like, "No, mama, I don't need no more hair on my head. Got a flashlight there
God.
instead."
I still find it hilarious. Like, anytime I make fun of your bald head because I'm the one who told you to shave.
You inspired this look, young man. And
Yo,
you're coming
so
at me.
I did. But I expect, dude, like, there are hats that you could wear that, like, go with that look.
They're called hats.
You never, they're literally any hat.
Snapbacks, baseball caps, beanies, pom-poms. I don't give a shit. You can put something on that chrome dome.
Lord have mercy.
This shit would help. Because right
Lord.
now, everybody in your entire hemisphere thinks it's daytime.
I did notice the reflect. Fuck you.
It's bright as shit. What you mean you just noticed? It's like when you have a bright idea. Ding!
Woo!
This man doesn't decorate the side of his house. He just shines a spotlight on himself.
Ah!
Like a
Let's
laser
see a
of
light
light.
show today, guys. Watch this.
We ain't got to go nowhere.
He's like, babe, where do you want the light on the house? I got you.
It's all about the angles. It's a good thing I took geometry.
Angles. It's all about angles.
That parabola. You took the bait. I saw your face. I knew it. Anyways.
Wow.
Anybody have something else to share that's not clothes related?
Yeah. So,
What's up?
I mean, I guess technically it's clothing related.
It's okay.
Sort
I'll
of.
let it slide.
It's lack of clothing related. So, not my lack of clothing. Unless that's what
Keep that shit
unless
on.
That's what she wants.
No one wants to see
No,
that.
no, not tonight. Anyways.
That's not
Be
true.
careful. And be careful zipping it back up. Yeah.
That's not true. I know at least one person,
Actually-
according to Twitch,
actually, there-
according to a Twitch clip, that wants to see the tatas.
There are people.
Her
that
name
wanna
is
see
Chum
your
Bunnies.
I don't
She
blame
wants to
Chum
see
Bunnies.
the
to be honest.
tatas.
Real
There's
recognize
a
real.
clip of her saying that she wants to see the titties. It was your fault because you gave me biddies.
What'd you say, Salo?
I do not even recall, as my presidents say. I do not recall.
I think he said that he doesn't
What you
blame her
just
for
said?
wanting to see my tatas.
Oh.
What? No. Who said that?
You.
That might have been
Anyway.
Brett. Anyways.
Anyway. So, a situation going on in the WWE right now that I just kind of want to address. So, earlier this week, Mandy Rose lost her NXT Women's Championship. She had held it for over 400 days. The next day, she was fired. I was like, whoa, wait a fucking minute. What the fuck just happened?
It was because of the pics, right?
It was because she has basically like an OnlyFans.
Really?
But it's a different page name, whatever. and she started posting too provocatively.
Like nudes or just too suggestive?
Like there was a photo where she was like laying like poolside, I think.
She was
naked,
in the water and
like
you could see it through the like shimmering of the water. You could see her nipples.
I saw one where she had her title belts covering
hold on.
and down.
Hold on, because we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Don't worry about that. She got fired for provocative pictures. Now, First of all, I would like to say, the people that are comparing it to things that it shouldn't be compared to, you guys are fucking dumb. All of you that are saying, well, why did she get fired, but Matt Riddle only got suspended for failing a drug test? Well, one of them was drugs, and one of them was titty pics. These aren't even comparing apples and oranges. This is comparing apples and furniture. And somebody said, well, what about when Paige years ago had all of her sex tapes leaked? Well, one of them chose to put their videos up for monetary profit, and one of them had a crime committed against them and had their personal property leaked to the public.
Yeah, that's kind of
not their fault. If you want to punish her for her videos being leaked, that is literally blaming the victim. These are not the same. I would just like to establish that. Now, the other side of this, that picture you mentioned, Brett, there is a very provocative picture of Mandy Rose sitting on a lawn chair, laying there with no clothes on, with one title covering her breasts and one title covering her nether regions. That was a picture
the
WWE took.
The WWE title picture?
The NXT Women's Championship and the NXT UK Women's Championship. That was the WWE's picture that they put on their product. It was their idea. That's not too provocative. And that's the problem. WWE fired her because she said, hey, you guys are capitalizing on my sex appeal. I should get to do the same thing. And she went and made money on her own, and they said mad. No. And I'm assuming they gave her the ultimatum, because they've been giving people ultimatums lately, stop or be fired. And she probably said, fire me, because she's made more in the last month posting pictures of her tits than she makes in a year in wrestling.
I believe it, unfortunately.
What sounds better to you? A year of wrestling and putting your body on the line and risking injury for less money than 1 month of titty pictures? Of course she's going to pick the financially smart one.
Yeah.
But the fact
there's I mean, and like the comparison's completely different, because there's like a woman posting nude pics. Yeah, she's going to make some money. It's just going to happen. People are going to buy that. But she's now a celebrity.
Yeah. And she fine.
And
she fine.
Doing that?
She fine.
She fine.
But like the thing is, for the last 400 plus days that she's been champion, WWE has been all about her sex appeal. Having her show up in bikinis and having her take that super provocative picture.
Yeah.
But when she goes to do her own thing, they get mad about it. Now, if it's in her contract, it's in her contract. The fact that people are mad that she got fired, you guys are dumb. She probably knew this was going to happen. And this is not the same to any of the other scenarios that people are presenting. Paige's leaks, Matt Riddle getting suspended for testing positive for drugs. These are different scenarios. And for the people that are saying, well, what about when WWE women used to be in Playboy? Well, the last time that happened was in March of 2008. WWE became a PG product in June of 2008.
Really?
It's a PG product. It's different.
Yep.
You can't judge things based off when it was fucking PG-13 or TV-17 versus a PG product. You can't compare them. But the fact that WWE was so willing to capitalize on her sex appeal is where it becomes kind of shady.
Yeah.
Because that picture you saw where she rocking it, but all she got's the titles.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was the one that they had a problem with.
That's their picture.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
They're like, you can't be making money for yourself. That's crazy.
They love pushing the envelope. Last year, they made all of their superstars that streamed on platforms like Twitch stop streaming. All of their wrestlers and producers and everything that streamed were told you can't do that anymore. And a bunch of them quit because of it. But the problem is WWE can do this because they can fire anybody they want whenever they want. It's in the contracts. The thing that's shitty about it is WWE superstars already get a bad rep because they're independent contractors. And that's how WWE avoids paying for their health care and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is, unlike every other company, they're independent contractors that can only work for WWE. Every other wrestling company, you're an independent contractor. If you want to go appear on that company, go. Just get it approved with us because you're our fucking world champion. Don't go over there and lose to a jobber. But
to a jobber.
People are constantly winning, going in multiple promotions because they're allowed to. WWE won't even let you branch out on your own time. It's a crazy scenario. But people are mad about the wrong parts of it. They should be mad that they got to capitalize on her sex appeal but wouldn't let her capitalize on it. You don't get to be mad because somebody else got suspended instead of being fired for drugs. These are not the same thing.
It's not like you own the person just because you have a contract for work as an independent contractor. You know what I mean?
That being said,
if they put it in their contract,
a publicly traded company, I feel like they 100% have the right to tell you if you want to work here, you can't do OnlyFans.
Right, pre-agreement before you should be able to be told that with paperwork and stuff, but they can't just decide, you know?
I'm assuming there was something in place. And
I'm sure.
Because she started off with just lingerie pics, and then they got even more and more risque as time went on. I'm assuming, that's why I said, I'm assuming they gave her an ultimatum. Stop or be fired. And she probably chose to be fired. Because she was making more money the other way.
Yeah, they probably wanted to keep
Probably.
her.
Yeah. And that's probably why they gave her a nice send-off, so that maybe in 2 months, she's like, all right, I've gotten my money's worth, I'm cool, I'll stop, I'll come back. Maybe she'll come back in the Women's Royal Rumble. But I've seen so many people just bitching about the wrong parts of this, and it's driving me nuts. Stop comparing it to things that it has nothing to do with.
Makes sense, yeah.
What I would find hilarious is if her getting fired was a part of the storyline.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was all a work and it was just to get her off TV for a little while so she can show up in the Women's Royal Rumble. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It feels a little too legit for that to be the case, but I wouldn't be totally surprised. Triple H has done a lot of crazy things since he took over. This would be a hell of a move to get super attention on her.
I mean, that's how you really immerse your audience.
You make things look real.
You break that bridge, or you connect it, and you make it to where oh, I don't know if this is real or not.
It makes it more fun.
Mm-hmm.
As a wrestling fan, it's more fun when you can't tell the difference between story and real life. It's more interesting that way.
Mm.
But I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was ridiculous.
I agree.
But no, that picture you saw, Brett, that was the WWE's picture.
That's crazy.
Oh, I know.
That's insane.
That's the picture you expect to see in Playboy.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, but, oh, I don't know if you heard about this. I saw about it last night, but apparently, Ash Ketchum is leaving Pokemon.
Yeah, I did see something
about
that.
Has he given any interviews? What? I thought that was a silly one.
The seriousness of which you said that was fantastic.
It's funny.
Anyway, Ash
Is
Ketchum.
he getting a retirement plan?
Ash Ketchum's leaving Pokemon. I don't. It's kind of crazy to think about, but I guess it makes sense. He finally won the Pokemon League.
Yeah, they can. I mean,
I assume he'll just finally
it's a
have his
mark that they
11th birthday.
Can move on.
Oh no.
And you're not allowed to be on the show once you reach 11 years old.
It's over. It's done. It's a wrap.
You're officially too old for our content.
In with the next 10-year-old. Bring him in.
You're too old for our audience's fan fiction. I'm gonna need you to please move on.
Too old.
I'm not necessarily against that. Like, if anyone has a problem with it, I think that's
I don't care.
fine.
I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah, really. You would think that there would have been a new character by now, like main character. So, but before we end here, what's everybody's holiday plans?
Streaming, probably.
Okay, well, little Christmas holiday stream. What you, Sala? What are your plans?
I'm gonna be hopping in his chat for the stream just to say hello. But really, I'm gonna do for like my family. We've always done Christmas Eve is our Christmas. So like what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna have my family come over, kind of recreate my childhood in a way. They're gonna do the bit with me where we stay up until 12, and at 12 we get to open little presents we got for them. So Amanda's gonna have I think she might cook some food for my family, and my family's gonna bring some food, and we're just gonna just have some family time. And then the next day I'm gonna spend some family time with her family because they're really big on Christmas. I'm not used to having such a big plans for Christmas. Yeah, I'm not a big celebrator. I just never have. Hispanic culture, like once I got older, you don't really do Christmas like that because you're not a kid anymore. You don't really care about staying up. You can just open the presents if you want to.
Right.
That's my plans. What about you, Brett?
I get it. I'll probably be working.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
They like I'm standby for that weekend. Yeah. That holiday break, and although the airfield here is supposed to be closed, for some reason they do this thing where they just sign a waiver like pilots do, and they just have flights regardless of the fact that we're closed.
What?
They just do it.
Awesome.
It's annoying. Yeah. It's really it's almost shady sometimes. And there's nothing secret about what I'm saying or anything like that. It's just weird. So whenever there is a military installation in a different country, generally there is certain agreements, especially if you're near populated areas, which we are. So there's quiet hours because people don't want the sounds of aircraft coming in as they're sleeping and shit like that.
Yeah.
They don't want it happening during big holidays and celebrations and stuff. So they agree to these certain quiet hours for every day and then throughout the year. And we just break it.
When you want to, when you sign a waiver. That's crazy.
They just sign a waiver and just break it.
That's crazy.
So it's annoying in the fact that like time that we're supposed to be off, we're supposed to be celebrating the holidays. We're not supposed to be at work. All of a sudden we have to come in and we have to support this, which it's our job. We're going to do our job. That's not what I'm really upset about. It's the fact that like this was put into place for a reason. Why are we going around this?
Right, like why are we circumventing this?
Like we have the avenues to just like do this during the times that we're supposed to be doing this, but we're just breaking it because we want to. Not we, I don't want to, but we want to. I find that kind of odd. It's something although I have a limited scope and power, it's something I want to try to like change. if possible, at least try to reopen a conversation
Yeah.
for that, because it just seems excessive. Like, I get, if there's important shit that needs to be done, important shit needs to be done.
Right.
So, a lot of this is not important. But yeah, from what I heard, most of the time it's going to happen during the holidays, so I'm probably going to be in the office.
Fudge, man.
Working. Is what it is.
Well, I appreciate your service. I don't mean that sarcastically. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it sounds rough.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean,
don't get me wrong. There are things that are important, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to do my job.
The thing is, yeah, you can't.
I guess it could be worse. You could have you could have a wife and kids and still have to go in.
Yeah,
like
which
at least you're out there by yourself.
Yeah, you're a primal.
So you're not missing out on like at home family time.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that would irritate me more if I find out that anyone in my shop, anyone in like people that I work closely with, if I find out that they do have a situation like that and something wasn't rearranged to where they didn't have to be there, that would upset me.
Like it's
generally
that's like the
people
silver
try
lining
not to let
to
that
a
happen
shitty situation kind of thing.
Yeah,
like at least you don't have.
At least I'm
family
here
that
and
you're
someone
missing out on Christmas time with.
Yeah.
So. No, I mean that's.
But
it could be worse.
For everybody watching this, what are your plans? Tell us about the way you guys like to celebrate the holidays.
Which holidays you celebrate?
Christmas, Hanukkah. Yeah, tell us what you celebrate.
Or if you don't celebrate anything, what traditions do you have around the season? Do you not do something on purpose? Do you do something else instead?
Yeah, just let us know what kind of things you guys do. Who knows? Maybe a way you guys celebrate might be something that we try to integrate in our lives if it sounds really cool and interesting.
Yeah. I got one more thing real quick.
Okay.
It's been unfortunately a running theme. Several weeks ago we talked about all the unfortunate circumstances with Jason David Frank. Recently, I think it was 2 days ago, Steven Twitch Boss, the DJ for Ellen DeGeneres and the dancer, he committed suicide.
Fuck, man. Fuck. Really?
Had a beautiful wife, beautiful kids. As far as everybody knew, he was always happy. He had a world to live for. And he was just in a bad place.
That's rough,
and there's reports from his family saying that his wife called the police trying to get him help because she knew something was off and whatever the case may be. I don't know the whole story, but I do know that he is no longer here, and everybody said he was always a happy person. And the reason I bring this up is, one, because we've addressed this recently, and it's always important to readdress it. But especially with this one, because with Jason David Frank, a lot of people said that they could see that he was struggling. He was going through a divorce. He was having a lot of problems. People saw the struggle.
You don't always see it.
You don't always see that, though. Twitch seemed to be a very happy guy. Several years ago, Robin Williams, one of the happiest people on the fucking planet.
That's where my head went to when you said that there was no clue that he was depressed. Robin Williams is what I thought of.
So, there are not always warning signs. Yes, look for them in your friends, in your family, especially in these holiday times. Holidays are very hard for people that have these issues.
It's something that gets talked about a lot, especially in the military, holiday depressions and stuff like that.
It is a very real thing.
For people that, maybe don't have families that they're celebrating with.
Right.
Or if they are going through rough times, it just gets magnified
during the holidays because it just makes you think about what isn't there and what should be there and whatever the case may be. So here at Beyond Us, we just want to reiterate, check in on your friends, check in on your family. If you know someone has been going through something recently, whether it be a breakup or the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job. Things like that can be significant stressors, especially during these holiday times. Check in on them. Mm-hmm. Just send them a text, give them a call, whatever it may be. Check on your friends, check on your family. Not everyone shows signs. You can't always know that something is wrong, and it's not your fault if you can't see that, because some people are great at hiding it.
You never know.
But you reaching out could be the thing that says to them, oh shit, I have someone I can talk to. Mm-hmm. So, Twitch, your family, we hope that your family gets through this as painlessly as possible. Obviously, it's a painful situation and there's no easy way through it, but, our thoughts and prayers with them. Check on your friends, check on your family, and if you're someone that needs help, just ask. Don't do something rash because things are bad now. They could be better next week. They could be.
Mm-hmm. And regardless of how it feels, things can be worse.
Yeah.
But on that note, I hope everybody does have a happy holidays as much as they can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Check on your friends, check on your family. Tell somebody you love them. Mm-hmm. Have a good time. We will see you guys after the holidays. Brett and I will see you one more time right before the holidays for another NFL video. But our next podcast won't be until right before the end of the year. So we will see you guys for a New Year's edition, because every episode just has an addition to it now.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be wearing this onesie again.
He will be wearing a New Year's onesie for those interested. And we are in the works of selecting the outfit for New Year's. Please, if you have any recommendations of onesies, put them in the chat, link bio, put it on the YouTube comments. We will work on it. We'll vote on it. If we get enough traction, we will select one for New Year's. Thank you for joining.
Real quick.
What you got, Brett? What you got?
I need to check something.
Uh-huh.
He's like, hell no.
Where are we? I'm gonna give. All right, we are at 22 subscribers, right? We're small. We're small outfit.
We're small.
What if we got to 100? The reason I say that.
What about getting to 100?
If we got to 100.
What if what?
Get you a onesie. New Year's onesie.
What if we got you to dress up as the New Year's baby?
Yes.
I'd have to be shirtless?
Or wear a shirt that looks like you're shirtless. We can set it up.
Something. We can get you dressed up as the New Year's baby.
I'm poor.
Yeah, but I'm not.
For our 100th subscribers.
You think we're getting to 100 in the next 2 weeks?
I'm saying if for some reason we were capable of doing that.
All right. If for some reason, here's what I'll give you. If for some reason,
by Christmas.
If for some reason by Christmas, is this video even going to be out by Christmas?
Doesn't matter. We're still going to look at the numbers.
Yeah. It should be out.
Okay, because episode 23 came out 36 hours ago.
Shit happened.
Okay.
All right, shit happened.
Shit always happened. We good. It came out.
If by Christmas we are at 100 subscribers, I will dress up in some way, shape, or form. I'm not going to promise New Year's baby because we might not be able to make that happen. I'm not going to promise a New Year's onesie because we might not be able to make that happen. But I will dress in some ridiculous fashion for your entertainment. Mostly you two, apparently.
For the next podcast.
For the next episode. If we hit 100 subscribers by Christmas, I'll do that. We're only 78 away.
Yeah. And this episode probably isn't going to come out until
Christmas Eve,
like right before. So it's probably not going to happen.
But if it does, when Brett goes and makes 38 fake accounts and
I'll make at
subscribes
least
with all
2.
of them, and Salo makes at least 2, then we only need like 30 more subscribers.
Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to make a post requesting that everybody
on Facebook. I just need all my friends and family to go subscribe. You don't have to watch any of our shit. Just go subscribe.
don't watch anything. Just subscribe, please.
But that'll do it. Yep. If by Christmas we have 100 subscribers, I will dress up in some shape or form for the next podcast. I don't know how, because who knows how.
I'm
We'll
ready.
see what happens. And if we hit 250, Salo and Brett have to do it too.
If we get to 250, I will dress up. It's fine. I'll be the New Year's baby.
I'll
If we get
dress
to
up.
250,
Yeah. Why
I'll be
not?
the New Year's baby.
Yeah.
If we get 250, Salo will shine his head live on the
I will
podcast.
live on the. If y'all never seen a grown man bald his head and shine it live on
Just
video,
a wax buffer.
we gonna get Amanda up in
wow.
here with the lights and we gonna shine it to maximum velocity, baby.
We'll do that, and then we'll paint it like a Pokemon.
Yes, at 300 subscribers. Stay tuned, guys.
Every 100, we paint his head a different ball type.
Pumpkin head
At
one
100,
day.
At 100, we just do a baseball. At 200, we do a Pokeball. At 300, we do a bowling ball.
I'm down. I'm down. If you guys are down, we'll
Should
do
be
it.
Hysterical.
800 is the magic.
There you
Oh
go.
my god! And then every time we got a question, he's just got to.
And then on one side it'll say yes, on one side it'll say no.
Oh my god. Anyway, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you all have a very happy holiday, whichever holiday you do celebrate. If you don't celebrate any holidays, just have a good time, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Alrighty. Happy holidays,
Anything
everybody.
else,
Woo! Like, subscribe, hit the bell,
Bye, everybody.
notifications, everything.
Bye, guys.
Bye. And scene.